Week 5 preview, 15 games. Let's get right into this thing. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. We got a good week of football, starting off with the London game, going all the way down to Monday Night Football. So we got a ton of really good games, London games for the next 2 weeks. So let's get right into this thing. So first game we're going to be doing, please let this thing load. It's the Jets and Falcons. It's on NFL Network at 9:30 tomorrow morning. So if you live on the West Coast and you want to wake up to football, I guess get up really early, probably 6:30 because that's when it's going to start there. It's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, NFL Network, only on NFL Network, against the 1-3 Jets visiting the 1-3 Falcons. Not really visiting, but kind of a stinky game if you actually have to think about it. So yeah, it's on NFL Network. It's the first London game in over 2 years. I'm happy. I'm hyped for it. So yeah, let's get right into this. So yeah, for the Jets offense, for the Jets, they have, of course, Zach Wilson starting. Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, and Michael Piron are all getting carries. Corey Davis, Jameson, and Crowder, Elijah Moore, Ryan Griffin, George Fant, Elijah Vera Tucker, Connor McGovern, Greg Van Roten, Morgan Moses, John Franklin Myers, Sheldon Rankin, Williams, Quincy Williams, Bryce Huff. They're gonna have Shaq Lawson is gonna play middle linebacker. They're gonna have to have him play linebacker, and then of course they have CJ Mosley. So yeah, they have Brandon Eccles is questionable, and then they have Ashton Davis,
Here's a pass. Stinker. It should be a stinker. That's what it should be. But either way, for the Jets offense, they keep it simple by running the ball and then throwing the balls in the middle and no turnovers. So what I mean by that?
We call that the green light effect.
Falcons can't stop the run. They can't
stop
the pass on the outside.
With an aptitude to how to earn it each money.
So if you throw over the middle, it'll catch it. I think that's the one part of their game, that defensive plan, that they won't be really focusing on. And of course, no turnovers. This team will get blown out if they turn over the ball, because they can't really afford it. Their defense isn't good. Their offense isn't good. So, yeah, they can't. Yeah, they kind of have to. Then for the Jets, defense pressure the Lions. Stop the run play over the middle. So they're going to be throwing a lot of Aiden Hurts can pass over the middle, because that's where he does all his work. Same with Kyle Pitts. So they really
we haven't scored in like 3 hours. Here's a pass.
now we go to the next game, Patriots Texans. This game could be a very bad game because if you haven't known, I'll get right into it, but the Patriots are a little banged up. They're 1-3. They are probably the best 1-3 team in the NFL. One of the best 1-3 teams in the NFL, which isn't saying much. But then you got the Texans, who are probably the worst 1-3 team in the NFL. They are terrible. They are shorthanded. This game is on CBS at 1 o'clock. So, yeah, of course, check your local listings. You can watch this on Red Zone if you have that. But both these teams, they need a win. Patriots, if the Patriots don't win this game, it would be sad. I know they're shorthanded, but they got to win this game. For the Texans, I don't really know. Like, they're just terrible. They finally, they played good football the first 2 weeks of the season. They've kind of fell off since then. But for the Patriots, they got Mac Jones, of course, starting. Damian Harris, Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, Devin Asiasi. But Isaiah Wynn, Mike Onwenu, and Shaq Mason are all out. COVID and other things. And then, so they're going to have Justin Herron, David Andrews, and Ted Karras. David Andrews is fine. But they're going to have Zaire Durant going to have to go out there. And Justin, basically, Yodi Justice. So basically, they're going to have their whole backup offensive line out there other than David Andrews. And yeah, if anyone didn't know, Trent Brown is in the IR, so he'll be out for a while. Then we have Dietrich Wise Jr., Lawrence Guy, Devine Gotcha, Chase Winovich, Matt Judon, Dante Hightower, Jamie Collins Sr., of course, he just signed with them. Josh Uche also. But Kyle Van Noy is questionable. So I like that all these new guys, old guys are back. It's really good to see. Juwan Bentley is actually questionable, so that could be a problem. But J.C. Jackson, of course, out there. Kyle Duggar is questionable. Adrian Phillips might start. Devin McCourty. Jalen Mills is out. Jaquan Williams will go out there. Jonathan Jones is questionable. I can't imagine that he won't play because Cody Davis, Justin Bethel, and Joshua Bledsoe's out. But Cody Davis, Sean Wade, and Justin Bethel might not play. Well, Sean Wade won't play. They have Infernie Jenkins, Raekwon McMillan, Henry Henderson, of course, Trent Brown, Dolan Keene, Malcolm Perry are all in the IR. So yeah, this team's really, really, really banged up, which means the Texans are going to have to take advantage of it. I don't really know how they're supposed to do that with no talent, but it's happened. They got Davis Mills starting, Mark Ingram, David Johnson, Philip Lindsay, and then Marcus Burkhead is out. Brandon Cooks, Chris Conley, Damian Amendola is expected to play. Andre Roberts, Farrah Brown, he's been a pretty good tight end. Jordan Akins, Laramie Tunsil, Jerron Christian. He's their backup, but I have to say his name because he's actually played some snaps. Because he will play some snaps. Titus Howard, Justin Britt, Max Sharpie, Charlie Heck might play. Whitney Merciless, Malik Collins, DeMarcus Walker, Jordan Jenkins, Zach Cunningham, Christian Kirksey, Joe Thomas, Vernon Hargraves, Eric Murray, Justin Reed, Terrence Mitchell, Desmond King, the second, and Tavarius Thomas. They have Tyrod Taylor, Nico Collins, Marcus Cannon, Vincent Taylor, Tay Davis, Kevin Pierre-Louis, all in the IR. Of course, you still have Deshaun Watson out. We don't know his situation. So, yeah, those are going to be your teams. Wouldn't expect me if these two teams play. It could be a really low-scoring game. And honestly, it could be a 13-7 slugfest. It could be a terrible game. But for the Patriots offense, run the ball and win the possession game. Yeah, the only way they're going to win this game is by running the ball. And so probably going to have to be all Damian Harris. They're going to have to get the ball out really quickly. Just chew up clock. Like, do not give the Texans any opportunities to score points if they even do. Patriots defense really banked up. I said shoot the run gaps and force turnovers. They do that, their offense is going to put up points. It's just how they do it. And then for the Texans offense, run the ball efficiently and then throw short. They did this against the Browns. It really worked. And I think since with a banged-up Patriots defense, they don't have to force the ball anywhere. Same with Davis Mills. If he doesn't have to do anything stupid, they'll be good. Then for the Texans defense, stop the run and play it back on third down. What I mean by that is, if they play back on third down, there's never going to be a conversion because the Patriots won't have enough time to do it. And if you didn't know this, the defense for the Texans does get pressure. Like, Whitney Merciless and Jordan Jenkins do get pressure once in a while. Zach Cunningham, Joe Thomas play off the ball really well, and Neville Hewitt's one of the best tacklers on this team. So yeah, they actually do get pressure. So just remember that. They like Malik Collins and Marcus Walker get pressure up the middle. Are they good players? Definitely not, but they do get pressured. I gotta say that. And of course, Stephon Gilmore not on the team anymore for the Patriots. He got traded to a contender at the moment. Next, we got Lions Vikings. I don't like this game at all because neither of these teams are very good. What could be another stinker, but the Lions had the Minnesota at 0-4. They just don't look good. They're pretty terrible. This game is on Fox. It's only available in some areas. Of course, check local listings, and of course, if you have NFL League, you can watch this game. Lions are 0-4, like I just said, winless. Vikings are 1-3. Vikings, they're honestly, you know what? They're the best 1-3 team. They're a good team. Can't really do much. So it really sucks to tell you the truth that the Vikings are 1-3, but they were like that last year. If they didn't choke in the end of the regular season, they probably would have made the playoffs somehow. So yeah. But the Lions, of course, have Jared Goff starting. Their top two running backs, DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams, are questionable. I don't know if they wanted Godwin, former wide receiver Godwin, Isabel out there, and then they have Quintez Cephas, Khalif Herman, Amon-Ra St. Brown. T.J. Hawkinson is questionable. They also have Darren Fells. Penei Sewell is questionable. Will Holden might have to play. Jonah Jackson, Evan Brown, Hallowell Vaitai, and Matt Nelson. Michael Brockers, Elman McNeil, Nick Williams, Trey Flowers is questionable. Charles Harris might have to play. Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, Austin Bryant, Monty Oriarway, Will Harris, Tracy Walker, Bobby Price, Jerry Jacobs, and AJ Parker. They have Tim Boyle, Tyrell Williams, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, Tyrell Crosby, so three of their starting offensive linemen, along with their backup quarterback on IR and a starting wide receiver. Deshaun Hands, Kevin Strong, Deshaun Hand, Joel Heath, Sean Dan Hamilton, Romeo Okora, Jeff Okuda, and Adifi Melifanu on IR. A lot of good players on IR for them. I'm not saying they're good, but they're key players of their team, and they help them. So, yeah. Then we go to the Vikings. Vikings are kind of banged up, not too bad, but Kirk Cousins is starting, of course. But Alexander Madison might have to start because Dalvin Cook is questionable like he is every week. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, Gigi Westbrook, they all get snaps, of course. Tyler Conklin, Chris Herndon, CJ Ham, of course, gotta say his name. Rashad Hill, Christian Darrisaw is not starting this week. I think it might be for some personal reasons. Erza Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Omid Oda, Brian O'Neill, Danielle Hunter, Michael Price is out, so Dalvin Tomlinson, Sheldon Richardson, and Armin Watts, who has really come along, gonna go out there. TJ Waddle also, Everson Griffin, Stephen Weatherly. I like all those guys. I gotta say Nick Vigil and of course Chaz Surratt, Eric Hendricks, Troy Dye, Anthony Barr, Patrick Peterson, Harrison Smith, Xavier Woods, Brashad Breeland, Chris Boyd, and Mackenzie Alexander. They have Jordan Scott, Janarius Robinson, OBC Johnson, Chad Beebe, Ormond Smith, Marset is out, Irv Smith Jr., Nate Stanley, Keeney, the Wagner are all on IR. They have Cameron Dancer and Harrison Hanson. Two of their corners are also not going to be playing today. But either way, going to the teams, what I want them to do. So basically, for the Lions offense, run the ball efficiently and avoid short drives by taking time off the clock and take the approach of 10 yards for a touchdown. Basically, I want them to set short goals. They didn't do that last week. They just had I'm not kidding. They had 20 minutes of possession time. That's pretty bad. It was a bad game last week for both teams. It was just ugly. But they got to do the 10 yards approach. It really helps a lot of offenses, simplifies it. They can run the ball efficiently and score points. They're fine. Then for their defense, though, they got to stop the run and pressure Kirk Cousins in the red zone.
Stop throwing in the red zone is probably the big thing, and then pressure Kirk Cousins in the red zone. I haven't seen a team that's really pressured Kirk Cousins in the red zone, and as a result, he really hasn't been doing anything bad or good. So yeah. So yeah, the Browns did it a little last week, but they didn't a ton. So yeah, then for the Vikings offense, don't play to lose and then play as if there's nothing to lose. So yeah, if they play to lose, like they have a lot to lose if they lose this game. But they gotta play like there's nothing to lose because that's the only way they're gonna actually pound this team like they should. So yeah, then for the Vikings defense, shot down the Lions' run game on first down. If they get negative yards or like 1 or 2 yard gains on first down every time, it's just gonna be pointless in doing it. Then they can just tee up on Goff on first down. So yeah, that's why I'm saying doing it because they have the D line and linebacker. They have front seven to do it. And for the Eagles, Panthers is the next game. This game could be ugly. I really don't know though because the Eagles have been playing terrible and the Panthers absolutely sucked last week. Yeah, I gotta admit they did not play well. So yeah. Panthers, of course, 3-1. They started off 3-0, but hosting the Eagles, who are 1-3. This is 1 o'clock. Is it on Fox? 1 o'clock on Fox. Local listings, of course, for this one. Jalen Hurts starting. He's looked really good. Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Nate Herberg, Jack Driscoll, Josh Sweat, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett, Ryan Kerrigan, Alex Singleton, Eric Wilson, Jannard Avery, Darius Slay, Rodney McLeod, Anthony Harris, Steven Nelson, Zach McPherson, Avante Maddox. They also have Gardner Minshew. Tyree Jackson's on the IR along with Isaac Salomalo, starting offensive lineman. Brandon Graham. Where is oh yeah, and Lane Johnson's out for this week. Where is Brandon Brooks? Is he injured? Because I don't see him on the schedule. I don't see him on his team. He's still recovering from the injury. So yeah, he won't be out there this week. And then they also have Josh Ostman and Kayvon Wallace. And then we go to the Panthers. I like the Panthers roster this year. It's really talented in the secondary. A lot of youth, a lot of injuries. But yeah, Sam Darnold. I don't want to start Christian McCaffrey if I was the Panthers. He's doubtful. They also have Chuba Hubbard and Royce Freeman. TJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, the usual. Ian Thomas, Cameron Irving is out, thank God. Trent Scott will start. I really don't know what to see from him. Dennis Daly, Matt Paradis, John Miller, of course, are reliable and elite tackle. He's not elite, but Taylor Moen. Brian Burns, Derek Brown, DeJuan Jones, Morgan Fox, Bravian Roy, Davon Nixon, Marcos Haynes Sr. Vitor Gross-Matos is questionable. Hassan Reddick, great pressure now. Jermaine Carter Jr., Julian Stanford, probably going to start because, well, he is going to start because Shaq Thompson is out. Dante Jackson, Jeremy Chin, Sean Chandler, C.J. Anderson, Rashad Melvin, and A.J. Boye. They have Pat Elfline, Mike Panachek, Matt Casey, J.C. Horn, Justin Burris, and Miles Hartsfield on the IR. Stephon Gilmore, he is out. Sadly, but yeah, he's gonna come back soon. Don't worry, he's just gonna be out for the first 5 weeks of the season, kind of like that thing. But then we go to the Eagles. This game I really don't know what to say for the Eagles, but they're 1-3. I said run the ball and for once and get an early lead. They didn't run the ball really all season. They haven't really been doing it efficiently. If they run the ball and get an early lead and score 30 plus. They will win this game, and they can do it because this offense does have talent. Yeah, the offensive line is pretty banged up, but the run game just needs to wake up because this team will not win another game if they don't get the run game. It's just how football works. So do that and get 30-plus points, which they can do. We've seen it many times. I get they're playing a good defense, but the Cowboys kind of exposed them a little. I wouldn't say exposed, but their defense is to show up too. I said maintain pace in the run game and be smart on how aggressive the coverages are towards Sam Darnold in the red zone. If they play aggressive in the red zone on coverages, Sam Darnold's just gonna cook them by running the ball. But if they play less aggressive, Sam Darnold might throw a pick, and then that offense. Here's the thing: the way these Eagles are gonna win the games, they force turnovers in the Panthers territory, because their defense, red zone wise, has not been great. It's been average. They are good when it's third and short. Yeah, I know how crazy that sounds. Short down plays that are not in their own side and in the red zone for them, they're key on. They're really good at that type of stuff. Third and long, I'm not like they're like above average for that, but they're not great. This defense is really good on the short yardage. It's really good. It's a different defense. We're not used to seeing this type of defense. It's not 85 Bears-esque, but it's really different. The Rams defense last year, every year there's a defense that's really good, and this is a new defense. So they gotta think we gotta get turnovers for them. For the Panthers, I'm gonna run the ball efficiently and then throw the ball around the yard. Yeah, I know how crazy that sounds, but if the Eagles have a hard time stopping the run, they can throw wherever they want because the Eagles will not be able to stop them. They are not the type of defense that can not stop the run and not give up the big play. You look at the Rams, they don't stop the run. They don't give up the big play. They just don't stop the run. It's how it works. It's kind of like that for the Niners and a couple other teams. There's some really good defenses that will let you run the ball, but they will not let you get the big play. Eagles defense is not like that, more than half the defense in the NFL. But then for the Panthers, they make pressures, hurts, and then play aggressively in the boundary. If they're really aggressive on the boundary, there could be a couple of defensive touchdowns. I'm not kidding. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this game. A lot of talk for this one because it was a really important game to talk about. Next game is the Saints and the Washington football team. I might have to watch this game painfully. This game could actually be really good. Honestly, this could be a really good game. Considering that the Saints have been Super Bowl team 1 week and then sing it up, very inconsistent. Washington's defense hasn't shown up. Their offense has played really well. Yeah, so that's basically those are the two teams. So maybe flip them for both sides. Who knows? But for the Saints, they got Jameis starting, Alvin Kamara, Marcus Callaway, Deontay Harris, Ty Montgomery is actually now a wide receiver because Chris Hogan and Lil Jordan Humphrey didn't do anything last week. Michael Thomas is refusing to come back. He's got to come back. Adam Trotman and Gary Griffin also. Teron Armstead and Eric McCoy. So James Hurst and Cesar Ruiz would probably start. And also have Andrews Pete. Calvin Throckmorton will have to go in there. Ryan Ramczyk also. Cameron Jordan, Chris Ringo, Shai Tuttle, Tano Kaspagan, Zach Bond, Mario Davis, Pete Warner, Marshawn Lattimore, Malcolm Jenkins, Marcus Williams, Paulson Adebo, Bradley Roby, and Desmond Trufant. They have a lot of guys in the IR, including Tony Jones Jr. Michael Thomas come back. He's not on the IR, but still. Traquan Smith, Nick Vanette, Jalen Dalton, David Onyemata is technically still suspended. Marcus Davenport, Quan Alexander, Chris Hansen, Ken Crowley, and Brian Plu. I hate Ken Crowley. He's bad. He's just not very good. He's annoying. Then we got Washington. This is going to be on Fox at 1 o'clock. There's going to be a lot. It's always at 1 o'clock, the first games you'll see in these previews, just so you know. Taylor Heineke starting, J.D. McKissic might have to start, or Jarrett Patterson, because Antonio Gibson is questionable. He will play probably, though. Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, I would take him out because he is, you don't want to keep him on the field when he's healthy. So, yeah, he's questionable. Adam Humphries, DeAndre Carter might get playing time, too, because De'Ami Brown and Cam Sims are out. Ricky Seals-Jones and John Bates are at tight end. Where's Logan Thomas? Is he out? Oh, okay. Yeah, Logan Thomas is out for this week. That's a little weird, but okay. Charles Leno, Eric Flowers, Chase Rulier, Wes Sweetser, because the best off right guard in football is out. Wes Sweetser will have to go out there, and then Sam Cosmi, of course. Chase Young is playing. Deron Payne is questionable. Matt Ioannidis, Matt Simmons, or Tim Settle. And then, of course, we have Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. They have really not a ton of depth. Cole Holcomb is questionable. David Mayo behind him. Jamie Davis, Jared Norris, Kendall Fuller, Landon Collins, Cameron Curl, William Jackson III, Benjamin St. Just, and Troy Apke. Ryan Fitzpatrick's on the IR, of course. Dylan Jelks, David Forrest, John Bostic, and Troy McTire. So, yeah, those are your teams. Now let's get into it. So, for these two teams, I really don't have much to say other than for the Saints offense, run the ball more than figure it out. If you don't get cute. They got cute last week and they lost the freaking Giants. If they don't get cute and they keep doing what they did last week, which is keep Jameis on the field, they will win. Basically, that's what they have to do. Because the defense for the Washington football team has not woken up yet. Saints defense stopped the run and forced Heineke to pressure throws. Heineke is not good on pressure throws. Like, he's getting hit and he's throwing it. Like, when there's pressure, he's not terrible. But when he's getting hit when he throws it, he's not great at all. Yeah. So Heineke is going to have to escape sometimes. And if the Saints are able to do that, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for their offense. Washington offense run the ball and pass with the lead. If they here's what I mean by passing with the lead. They pass with the lead, they will. It's kind of hard to say, but they need to score a lot of points against this team because Washington's defense hasn't woken up, and they got to basically say to the Saints offense, you got to throw the ball too. And we need to see how the Saints respond to not running the ball. The Saints can run the ball. So make them throw the ball because you're throwing the ball. It's a little bit of a psychological thing. It's really worked for some NFL teams over the past couple of weeks. If they're able to do it, that's how they're going to do it. So, yeah. So, the Bears did it, and now it worked with the Bears. Now Washington has to try to do it. Then for the Washington defense, the defensive line has to wake up. It starts with them. Like, they haven't been absolutely, like, unbearably terrible. They just haven't been good. They got to wake up. They wake up, they'll win the game. It's kind of simple. So, yeah. Next game's going to be if the Titans lose this game, they are absolutely awful. They lost to the Jets. And they're facing the winless Jaguars on the road. They got Tannehill starting. Derrick Henry, of course. A.J. Brown is back and healthy. Chester Rogers is playing because Julio Jones is out. Josh Reynolds might not play. Cameron Bassett might get some playing time. Anthony Ferguson, Gio Swain, Michael Pruitt. Taylor Lewan will play because Ty Sambriel is out, or if they want Kendall Lamb playing, or Dylan Radins. Out at left tackle, Roger Saffold, Ben Jones, Nate Davis, and David Quessenberry. Jeffrey Simmons, Tier Tart, Danico Autry is questionable. Naquan Jones or Woodrow Hamilton, the fourth, might have to play. Harold Landry, David Long, Rashawn Evans, Buddy Pre is out. Odiaya is actually playing pretty well, so he'll get out there. Janoris Jenkins, Dan Cruikshank, Kevin Byard, Christian Fulton, Chris Jackson, and Elijah Moulton all out there. They got a good amount of guys in the IR, though. Darrington Evans, Racing McMath, Tommy Hudson, Aaron Brewer, Daniel Munier, Aaron Brewer again because he plays 5 positions. Brandon Kemp, Laren Murchison, Trevin Coley, Derek Robertson, Jayon Brown, B.J. Bellows, Rashad Weaver, Amani Hooker, and Bradley Breeze. That's a lot of guys on the IR if you didn't know. And then for the Jaguars, oh, God. The Jaguars are terrible. The Jaguars are just bad. I don't really need to say anything else. They're just bad. They have Trevor starting, James Robinson, Marvin Jones Jr., Laviska Shenault Jr., Tavon Austin, Dan Arnold, Chris Manners, Cam Robinson, Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, Ben Barch, and Jawan Taylor. Malcolm Brown, Davon Hamilton, Tavon Bryan starting because Roy Robinson Harris is out. Josh Allen, Damian Wilson, Miles Jack, Caleb Jason, Tyson Campbell is questionable. Andrew Winger, Rashawn Jenkins, Shaquille Griffin, Hunter Cisco might get some snaps. Nevin Lawson's going to have to play because Trey Herndon is out. Or Chris Claybrooks and Tyson Campbell might not play. So, yeah, those are your rosters, and that's probably all I really have to say. And Tennessee just win the game. Is it that hard to beat a bad team? For the Titans offense, run the ball and then throw to anyone who schemed open. But more importantly, win the possession game by at least 5 minutes. They didn't do that last week, and they lost the game. So, yeah, win the possession game, do what you did last week, you'll be fine. Titans defense play smart and contain red zone runs. Red zone runs killed them last week. They got the defense gave up a touchdown on it. Then they just played, but like they literally just played up. It did not work. So yeah. For Jags offense, run the ball in the red zone 80%. I want them pounding the ball in the red zone. I don't care if always on first down instead of 15. If it's the 10-yard line, run the ball run it. Run the ball in the red zone. I know. Oh, it's 3rd and goal. Run the ball. It won't hurt them. Like if you run the ball in the red zone, it can't kill you. You just kick 3 at worst. Jags even stopped the run and play 2 high safeties on 3rd down. Last year, this team stopped Derrick Henry. They didn't shut him down, but they stopped him. They just put a thing in there like, hey, can't get it away. Yeah, they gave up a lot of points, but Derrick Henry didn't beat him. And if they don't want Derrick Henry to beat him, they just have to do what they did last year. But they have to play 2 high on 3rd down. I think they got a little too carried away with stopping Derrick Henry, and as a result, he kind of killed them in the way like, oh, you guys aren't actually playing good coverage, and that was absolutely correct. So, yeah. They gotta actually play coverage this time, not just we're gonna stop the run. Yeah, the Jags need to win this game. It's like it's basically desperate time for them, like every other team. But that's winless. Next, we got NFL on CBS. Jim Nantz is gonna be calling this thing. It's the Dolphins visiting the Buccaneers. Last time this game was played, it was delayed till a couple weeks later because of Hurricane Irma. This is on CBS at 1 o'clock. Brady meets Jacoby Brissett. Dolphins, I'd say they're going to probably have to win this game if they ever want to have a chance. I doubt they'll win this game, though. If they're 1-4, I doubt that's how they want to start. If they win like 8-9 games, I'll be kind of surprised. Jacoby Brissett starting, of course, Malcolm Brown, Myles Gaskin. Devontae Parker is questionable, Jalen Waddle, Albert Wilson, Preston Williams, Mike Gesicki, of course, starting, Austin Jackson, Solomon McKinley, Greg Mansis, Robert Hunt, Jesse Davis, Emmanuel Ogbah, Raekwon Davis, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, Adam Butler, John Jenkins, Andrew Van Ginkel, Landon Roberts, Jerome Baker, Brennan Scarlett, David Howard, Eric Rowe, Jason McCourty, Byron Jones, Elijah Campbell, and Justin Coleman. This defense is straight up healthy. Their offense is not, though. Michael Dieter, Laren Coleman, Alan Hearns, Lynn Bowden Jr., Will Fuller V, and Tua are all in the IR. Tua needs to come back if his team wants to win the game. Oh, we'll make a difference. Gotta admit, Tua is not a bad quarterback. Honestly, I don't like how Tua plays, but I can't really say anything bad right now. Tom's starting, and that's kind of like an obvious. Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones kind of revolving door these days. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, AB, Cameron Bray, O.J. Howard, Bronx out another week. I can't really say anything bad about it. Can't really say much else than that. Donovan Smith, Alan Marpet, Ryan Jensen, Alex Kappa, Tristan Wirfs, one of the best lines in the league. Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, William Bolson, Stephen McClendon, Raheem Nunez, Roaches. JBB's questionable and might be out for a 3rd straight week. Anthony Nelson will have to step in again if he does that. Or Joe Tryon. Probably him. Probably Joe Tryon. Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett. Jamel Dean is questionable. He probably will start. And Antoine Winfield's out. So Andrew Adams or Mike Edwards. Probably Mike Edwards has to step in. Jordan Whitehead, Richard Sherman, Pierre Desir, and Ross Cockrell. They have a lot of guys on IR, including on the offensive side of the ball, Scotty Miller, Brad Seaton, Sedarius Hutcherson, Daniil Stanley, John Mulchin, Cam Gill, Sean Murphy Bunting, Carlton Davis, and Curtis Riley. Yeah, a lot of guys for them on the IR. So, yeah, basically, those are your 2 teams. Starting lineups, most likely, unless we have something that says otherwise. Okay, so then we have, for the Dolphins opposite, productive on first down and then take shots.
this team's going to have to take shots. They can actually do it, though. Jalen Waddle's going to have to be the focal point. Productive on first down. That's what I mean. 5-6 yards on first down. They can do it how they want to. They just got to be productive. That's if they're able to do that, they'll be fine. Dolphins hold the offense under 20 points and force turnovers. They can stop the run. They've shown that. Blitz Brady. That's kind of like these days. If you don't do it, I don't know what you're saying. This defense can really actually play with this Bucs offense. So hold them under 20. It's not impossible. And force turnovers. That's not out of the question either. So yeah, just do that. It's not that hard. I don't see that out of the question. So the Bucs offense finally run the ball efficiently like last week, and then throw to the open weapons. What I mean by open is don't force it to anyone, because they kind of did that last week a couple times and almost hurt them. At times, they got to stop overthrowing a guy by 20 yards. Bucs defense, pressure percent, don't give up the big play. They will give the big play if they don't pressure Brissett, because Jacoby Brissett, if you didn't know, is a below average starting quarterback, which means he's no bum. So yeah, for that reason, take him like any other quarterback. Seriously. In the same sense. Okay. Next game, big game, Packers, Bengals. Packers, they're looking really good. People are thinking they're one of the best teams in the NFC. I actually agree with that. They're probably the third or fourth, maybe even second. We'll see. There's teams that are playing the Cardinals week 8. They're playing the Rams week 12. Week 12. So yeah, they'll have some tests coming up. But either way, this is a big test. They're 3-1. They're facing the Bengals, who are overrated, if you ask me. They're 3-1. I don't think they should be 3-1 right now, but they are, so I can't really say much else. Aaron Rodgers, of course, starting for the Pack. Aaron Jones in the backfield, also A.J. Dillon. Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, Randall Cobb, Robert Tonyan, Elgton Jenkins is questionable. Please have him start. I don't want to see, Josh Nijman, if you have to go in again, I don't really see anything bad about him. John Runyon starting for left guard. Lucas Patrick's going to have to start because Josh Myers is out. Royce Newman, Billy Turner also. Defensively, they're going to have to step up. Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark, Kingsley Keke, Preston Smith, Devondre Campbell, Jalen Smith. He got signed if you didn't know that. Chris Barnes should be starting because Rashawn Gary will not get cooked. Jalen Smith might. Eric Stokes, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage, Kevin King, Chandon Sullivan, and Shamar Jean Charles. They have Marcus Valdez-Scantling, Zadarius Smith probably going to be out for the season. Their number 1 corner, Jair Alexander, is on the IR. Will Redmond, Chauncey Rivers. So yeah, David Bakhtiari is out another game. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's what it is. And then for the Bengals, they got Burrow starting. Mixon is questionable. Samaje Perine might get the start. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, C.J. Uzomah, Jonah Williams, Quentin Spain, Trey Hill might have to start because Trey Hopkins is questionable. Jackson Carman, Riley Reef, Sam Hubbard, DJ Reader, Larry Ogunjobi is questionable. B.J. Hill or Josh Tupu might have to start. Trey Hendrickson, Logan Wilson, Akeem Davis Gaither, Jermaine Pratt, Trey Waynes is questionable. Von Bell, Jesse Bates, Jadobi Awuzie, Eli Apple, Mike Hilton, and Jalen Davis. Brandon Wilson and Ricardo Allen also out there. So yeah, for the Packers offense, both these teams are 3-0. I said score on the ground and take shots. This defense is not legit. It's not bad defense. Oh yeah, I forgot to say he's on the IR. Yeah, it's Xavier Safolo, Joseph Osai, and Kito Kareem. They're pretty healthy. Yeah, but they gotta take shots. They can do it. Like if Jesse Bates is playing over the top, of course, don't throw it deep because Jesse Bates is probably the best safety in the NFL right now. That's pretty much it. And then score on the ground because in the red zone, this defense has actually been pretty scary. For the Packers, defense, stop the run. If they stop the run, Joe Burrow can't do much because he's just gonna get teed up off, which means pressure him. They can actually do that because Rashawn Gary is actually like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be good. Then for the Bengals offense, run the ball efficiently and throw deep and protect with Burrow. They gotta take shots. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd will get open because Jair Alexander isn't out there to stop them. They don't have a number 1 corner right now for the Packers, which means they're gonna have to take shots. I know Joe Burrow doesn't have a very good deep ball, but Who knows? Maybe he gets better at it. Bengals defense stopped the run, double Adams, and pressure Rodgers. Basically, shut down the 3-0. If they do at least 2 of those things, pressure Rodgers, I don't see that as a huge problem. Double Adams, maybe. Probably not. Stop the run. That's always difficult for this defense. But if they're able to do at least 2 of them, I think that they have a good enough shot to win the game. So yeah, that's probably the best game of the week. I mean, best game of the early window even. Next game, Broncos Steelers. This Broncos are frauds, if you want to say that, because they just got killed by they got killed at home against a good Ravens team, and it was 23-7. Steelers, on the other hand, are absolutely struggling. They're really bad right now. Teddy Bridgewater, can't imagine that he won't start. He's questionable though, and Drew Lock might have to go in there. Melvin Gordon is questionable. Devontae Williams might have to start another week. Cortland Sutton is questionable. Tim Patrick is going to start. Of course, Deontay Spencer is questionable. Kendall Hinton and David Moore might go out there. Noah Fant is, of course, starting at tight end. Garrett Bowles, Darwin Reisner, Blake Ushenberg, Graham Glasnow, Bobby Massey finally got a healthy offensive line. Shelby Harris, Mike Purcell, Damon Jones, Malik Reed, Alex Johnson, Justin Strand, Von Miller, Kyle Fuller, Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons. Pat Surtain is questionable. Mike Ford, Bryce Callahan, and Nate Harrison might start. Nate Harrison might start. They have Mike Boone, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Adrian Killens, Cody Conway, Brett Jones, Alberto, Bradley Chubb, Josie Jewell, Nasir Patrick, and Jonas Griffin on the IR. For the Steelers, who are home, another game, who are the hosts for this game, little banged up. Their offense is awful. Big Ben starting another week. Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Juju, Chase Claypool, Eric Ebron, Pratt Freiermuth, Derek Watt, Dan Moore Jr., Kevin Dodson, Kendrick Green, Trey Turner, Chumba Okafor, Chris Wormley, Isaiah Buggs, Casey Hayward, TJ Watt, Devin Bush, Joe Schobert, Alex Highsmith, Joe Hayden, Terrell Edmonds, Micah Fitzpatrick, Justin Lane, James Pierre, and Akel Witherspoon because Cameron Sutton is out. They have Joshua Dobbs, Anthony McFarland Jr., Zach Bonner, Stephon Tuitt, Tyson Alualu, DeMarcus Acey, all on the IR. Yeah, it's ugly to say the least, if you haven't realized yet. It's very ugly to say the least. For both these teams. Okay. For the Bengals, no, wait, not the Bengals. For the Broncos, they said keep the QB comfortable, whoever it is, in good protection. That's always going to be good for a quarterback. And then short, simple passes, which is basically keeping the quarterback comfortable, which means good run game and short passes. Simple passes. No whoop-de-doo for Drew Lock because he cannot handle that. Good protection always helps too. Broncos defense dominate the line of scrimmage and tee up on Roethlisberger. The line of scrimmage is theirs to take, and teeing up on Big Ben is pretty simple. Sack them. Steelers offense run the ball somewhat efficiently. I'm not saying 400 yards. I'm saying okay. It seems like they think that can actually happen at times. It's pretty funny. It's just a 15-yard loss. It's really funny. Steelers defense keep the offense in the game by forcing turnovers and even getting TDs. If they get pressure and they force the turnovers that they should get if Drew Lock's in quarterback, they're going to have to go with even probably touchdowns. This offense is so bad. Playing a good defense. Steelers, good luck, but Broncos, you got to win the game. I know it's going to have to be low scoring, but I think you guys can do it. Next game is a pretty big stinker, to say the least. Bears-Raiders. No, it's not a stinker, but the Bears are not a good team. They are not a bad team, I'd say, but they're just not a good team. The Bears are 2-2. The Raiders are 3-1. Now we're getting the 4:05 time window. It's on CBS, of course, at 4:05. I want to watch this game, probably. No, I'm just gonna watch a better game, but okay. They got Bears got Justin Fields starting. Damian Williams is gonna start because David Montgomery is on the IR. Khalil Herbert has to get some snaps. Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Marquise Goodwin, thank God. Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, Jesse James is out.
Jason Peters, Cody Whitehair, Sam Mustipher, James Daniels, Jermaine Ifedi. Keem Mix is out. Angel Blackson will probably have to start. Eddie Goldman, Lil Nichols, Khalil Mack is questionable. Travis Gibson, Michael Walter. Roquan Smith, Danny Raven, Robert Quinn, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Houston Carson might start second straight week. If Tayshaun Gibson Sr. is out, he's questionable right now. Eddie Jackson, Kendall Vildor, Artie Burns, Duke Shelley. Raiders, they did not play very well on Monday night. They played pretty awful. They just didn't play well. Pretty simple. They want to get back to their winning ways. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Alec Ingold, Colton Miller, John Simpson, Andre James, Jermaine Eleanor, Alex Leatherwood, Max Crosby, Quentin Jefferson, Jonathan Hankins, Yannick Ngakoue, Corey Littleton, Denzel Perriman, KJ Wright, Nate Hobbs, Jonathan Abram, Trayvon Mowray, Casey Hayward Jr., Akeem Robertson, Brandon Faison. They have Mariota, Derek Carrier, Richie Incognito, Denzel Good, Gerald McCoy, Javen White, Nicholas Moreau, Trayvon Moehrig, and Damon Arnett are all on the IR. So a pretty big chunk of guys on the IR. I'd say about average, like 13. Okay, for the Bears, I said score 20-plus points and control the clock through the run game. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but Damian Williams did absolutely light it up in the Super Bowl. So it's not impossible. Khalil Herbert's is a good prospect back. They got to score 20-plus to compete with them, and that's pretty simple. Shut down the long pass plays. For the Bears defense, shut down the long plays. That could be run defense, run games, I don't know. And then pressure Carr. Derek Carr is a slow quarterback who isn't really good against pressure. So basically, yeah, pressure him and then shut down the long plays. But Vikings play too high and get pressure. That's not easy, but they can definitely do it. They're a good defense. Raiders offense, protect Carr and take shots to Waller and Ruggs and Rawls to run the ball. I'd say running the ball can't be as big as an issue this week because the Bears defense won't be focusing on that. They don't want any long plays to Henry Ruggs, especially not to Darren Waller. So for that reason, yeah, just do that. Raiders defense stop their run and pressure fields. It's really simple against this team. If you pressure them, it's gonna be if they can't really do much of the line of scrimmage, they're really hard to even move the ball against. So for the Raiders, yeah, just do basically win the line of scrimmage. They'll be good. Next game is another 4:05 game. I'd say the better one. It's kind of simple. Browns, Chargers, 4:05 on CBS. No, not this game. I don't care. We already did this game. I want to do the good game. Yeah, this is probably the best game of the week. One of them at least. 3-1 Browns who won on their defense dominating for the second straight week. This defense is red hot coming in this game. They're visiting the Chargers and SoFi who are 3-1 and are absolutely hot as the Browns, maybe even hotter. They just beat a 3-0 team. The lightning strike and they're ready to go. But Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashad Higgins, Austin Hooper, Andy Janovich, fullback, of course. Jedrick Wills Jr. is not playing. James Hudson, Joel Bitonio, Jason Treader is questionable. Michael Dunn might actually have to play center. Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin. Garrett is out. Here's when he's questionable. Joe Jackson might have to go out there. Malik McDowell. Adifi Odiwingolo might have to go out there because Jadeveon Clowney is questionable. Mac Wilson, Anthony Walker, Sione Takitaki, JOK, Denzel Ward, Troy Hill are both questionable. AJ Green, Ronnie Harrison, John Johnson, Greg Newsome is out. Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams. Yeah, that's the team that's going in there trying to end the streak for the Chargers. They have Jarvis Landry, Ryan Switzer, Nick Harris, Connor Davis, Drew Forbes, Jacob Phillips, all on the IR for the Chargers. Yeah, they're a good team. They have a good head coach. Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Jalen Guyton, Jared Cook, Gabe Neighbors in the fullback, Rashawn Slater, Matt Filer, Corey Lindsley, Odie Osprey, Storm Norton, Jerry Tillery, Linval Joseph, Christian Covington, Joey Bosa, Drew Tranquil, Kaiser White,
Actually, I don't know. Let's assume Chris Harris is playing. He played last week. Derwin James. Sorry, Derwin. Nasir Adderley, Michael Davis, Asante Samuel, and Tavon Campbell. They have Brian Bullock is the only guy on offense. Justin Jones, Kenneth Murray, Damon Lloyd. So yeah, they have a couple big guys on IR, but that's about it. And they're honestly assuming they're pretty lucky, if you ask me, to be the team that doesn't have to be absolutely manhandled with injuries like they normally are. But for the Browns offense to win this game, they're gonna have to run the ball, and Baker Mayfield has to make throws. He hasn't made he hasn't made throws the past 2 weeks that he needs to make. Especially last week. Missed a lot of throws, just didn't really do a great job in some of the pass plays. He needs to just get that clunk out of his head. He hasn't played bad at all. I just want to put that out there. He's just been a little inconsistent. If he gets to like the good part of his game, he's good. Just run the ball like you normally do. You'll be fine with that. For the Browns defense, shut down the run game and pressure Herbert. Run game doesn't work. Herbert's going to have to throw, and he can throw, but if he gets pressured, I really don't know what to see. It's kind of a mystery at this point. For the Chargers offense, run the ball and also throw to Eckler and Williams and Allen. Throw to all those guys and you will win the game, and then run the ball with Eckler efficiently. They do it every week and it works, so I got to put that out there. Chargers defense, stop the run. They have the guys to shut down Odell. They have the guys to make sure Baker has to throw. So stop the run. They will win the game. Their offense will put up points. That's just simple. The Browns defense is nothing spectacular, as good as they played the past couple weeks. Yeah, I'm not doing America's Game of the Week yet, but it's 49ers, Cardinals. 49ers 2-2, Cardinals 4-0. Now we get to 425. So this is on Fox. I'm watching this game because I hate the Cardinals at this point in time. Same with the Niners, but I want them to win because they're 2-2 and they need this game. But the Cardinals, they are the best team in the NFL right now. They are 4-0. They're red hot, and they're ready to beat up on the Niners. They're home, too. Trey Lance is making his debut, so that's big, too. Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon in the backfield. Elijah Mitchell, he's absolutely awesome, but what do you expect? He's had the best offensive line in the NFL. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Mohamed Sanu, Ross Dwelly, because George Kittle was on the IR. Kyle Juszczyk, Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson, Alex Mack, Daniel Brunskill, Mike McGlinchey, Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw is questionable. Kadavius Street might have to go out there. TJ Jones, Dick Bosa, Aziz Ozolaire, Fred Warner, Marcel Harris, Emmanuel Mosley, Jaquiski Tarr, Jimmy Ward, Josh Norman, Dimitri Lenoir, Drake Kirkpatrick. Because K'Wan Williams is out, they have a lot of guys in the IR. Well, not a ton compared to last year, but that was like a record. Richie James, Jalen Hurd, George Kittle, Justin Skull, Jordan Wills is suspended. Kevin Givens, Trey Greenlaw, all those guys are on the IR. Now we go to the Cardinals, the best team in the NFL. Kyler Chase Edmonds is questionable. James Conner will have to start if that happens. DeAndre Hopkins, D-Hop. AJ Green, Christian Kirk, Demetrius Harris might start because Mac Williams is questionable. He's had a really good year. DJ Humphries, Justin Pugh, Rodney Hudson, Josh Jones, Kelvin Beachum will play. I can guarantee that because they have no other left tackle really. Right tackle. J.J. Watt, Rashawn Lawrence, Zach Allen, Chandler Jones, Jordan Hicks, Isaiah Simmons, Marcus Golden, Byron Murphy is out. Antonio Hamilton is questionable. He probably not to start though. Jalen Thompson, Buda Baker, Robert Ford, Marco Wilson is questionable. Dig Gowan might have to play. Or Deontay Thompson, who's probably and Chris Banjo, because those two guys are actually not scary in terms of how bad their coverage can be. So yeah, these are your two teams. The Cardinals are a little banged up, and that's an understatement. They are banged up for a 4-0 team. It's a little, you know, 49ers offense run the ball and put up 30 points. You can't run the ball against the Cardinals. I don't know what to say. You got an awesome offense. Just don't take stupid shots with Trey Lance if they're not open. This is a running team that could absolutely crush this. I'm not kidding. This is a trap game for the Cardinals. They do not have the corners to line up with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. They are not great tacklers. This team is not a team that wants to tackle. They're not going up there like, yeah, they want to tackle. The 49ers defense, force turnovers and put a spy on Murray. This offense takes some really dumb shots at times. They're not perfect. They're two things. They don't like tackling. For the 49ers to know, they don't like tackling and they take really dumb shots at times. If they're able to use those two things and absolutely exploit them, and the Cardinals get beat because of it, which they have to, they'll be good. Put a spy on Murray. No team really has yet. It is kind of sad. Do that, you'll be fine. Cardinals offense, run the ball, then throw the ball deep, short and deep to Hopkins. Throw it to wherever Hopkins can get open. He hasn't really had a big breakout game yet. He needs it. He's your best player. Just do it. And yes, he is their best player. If DeAndre Hopkins was not in the Cardinals, they would not be 4-0 right now. I'm just saying that. Probably without Kyler Murray, too. You could have that debate, but he is their best player. Cardinals defense, shoot the gap in the run game and hold the offense to under 20 points. It's going to be hard to do that, to shoot the gap in the run game, because the 49ers are using all their resources for that. But if they at least do it somewhat decently and hold them to under 20, which I don't think is out of the question, I think they'll be good. Yeah, Cardinals, you better be 5-0 by the end of the week. I'm joking. I want them to get crushed. But that's not my decision. Yeah, the Cardinals should win this game. Next game, it's America's Game of the Week. Joe Buck is calling it for the 5th millionth time. Last year was actually on CBS. That was a really good game. Giants, Cowboys, 4:25, America's Game of the Week on Fox. This is nationally televised. Unless you live on the West Coast, which is cool, I guess. The Giants are 1-3. The Cowboys are 3-1. Cowboys are overrated, and it's time for them to get beat up. Giants, they need to win this game. It's kind of simple. They got the Rams next week. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Rams. They shouldn't beat the Rams next week. But if they win this game, people might be saying, oh, yeah, definitely. They went to Dallas and beat them. They've done that before. It's not out of the question. But either way, the Giants are playing the Cowboys on America's Game of the Week. The Cowboys are a better team. Simple. But then you got Danny Dimes, who's actually playing really well this season. Saquon, Kenny Galladay, Shepard and Slayton are both out again. Kadarius Toney, John Ross, that thing's gonna have to go out there again. It is a thing. They've both been pretty bad at times. Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph. Well, not Kadarius Toney. Actually had a good week. Elijah Penny, Andrew Thomas. I don't want you to start. Matt Perk go out there. Ben Bredesen is out. Matt Skier will have to start again. He actually played pretty well. Billy Price, Will Hernandez, Nate Solder, Dexter Lawrence, Austin Johnson, Leonard Williams, Lorenzo Carter, Tate Crowder, Reggie Radland, O'Shane Jimenez, James Bradbury, Jabril Peppers is out. Julian Love will have to start. Or Xavier McKinley, Logan Ryan, Dory Jackson, Darius Williams, Darnay Holmes, Levine Toilolo, Nick Gates, Cam Brown, TJ Brunson, Blake Martinez, Ellerson Smith, Quincy Wilson, and Joseph Caldu are on the IR. Aaron Robinson now is another week. Why don't they just put him on the IR? I really don't know. Now for the overrated Cowboys. They're winning games, but they're still overrated. They got Dak starting. Zeke is questionable. If he's out, if they just sit him on purpose, I wouldn't hate that because they need him later in the season. Pollard, Corey Clement behind him. Cooper is questionable. CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown. Behind him, Dalton Schultz, Blake Jarwin, Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz, and Zach Martin. Tara Steele's going to start again. Take that away, Giants. Tara Basham, Oza. Yeah, Oza. Odie Zingba. Yeah, he's good. Carlos Watkins is questionable. Brett Urban might have to start. Randy Gregory is questionable. Chauncey Golson probably going to have to start. Leighton Vander Esch, Keanu O'Neal, Michael Parsons, Jabril Cox. LVE is probably the best player on this defense. I'm going to keep saying that because it's kind of true. Anthony Brown, Jerron Kurz, Donovan Wilson is out. Devontae Casey, Trayvon Diggs, who's been pretty much a turnover machine. Jordan Lewis, and Nishan Wright. I have one question. Why isn't Malik Hooker starting? He is the thing that transformed this defense. If any of you guys have access to film, I highly encourage you to watch Malik Hooker play football. It is a beauty of a thing to watch. I'm not kidding. One of the reasons Trayvon Diggs is doing this, one of his pick six was because Malik Hooker told them to go more wide, and it worked. So, yeah. Now for America's Game of the Week, keys to the game. Giants offense, run the ball with Saquon early and then throw over the middle and deep on Trayvon Diggs, and more importantly, protect Daniel Jones. I want to see how Trayvon Diggs does in the middle and deep stuff, because his interceptions have been on short stuff, and teams have not thrown deep on Trayvon Diggs. I wonder why. Daniel Jones, you do that and protect yourself. Yeah, their offensive line is going to have to play really good this week. I don't think it's out of the question. And run early with Saquon, get him going. Saquon gets going, put him on the outside, let him burn Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, here's the thing. Trayvon Diggs, he leads the NFL in turnovers. He's had some really big interceptions. I get that. He's playing really well, I got to admit. No one's tested him deeper over the middle. That could be a problem for him. We'll see. For the Giants defense, stop the run and pressure Dak. Dak has not been pressured this season, really at all. They pressure him. We'll see how Dak plays. Dak is not fully ready. I gotta admit it. He does not look that great. Not bad, definitely not. But he just doesn't look great. Cowboys offense, no penalties, and do what you did last week. Yeah, if they just don't get any penalties and do what they did last week, they'll win the game pretty easily. Then for the Cowboys defense, pressure Jones and stop the run. Stopping the run part's gonna, there's a good chance they're gonna struggle with. Pressuring Daniel Jones, I really don't know. It depends on if their defense shows up with the pressuring. That's going to be it for America's Game of the Week, keys to the game. And that's going to be the end of the, thank God, now I get to go to the primetime games. The best game, the game of the week. But not America's Game of the Week. But it is Sunday Night Football. It is the Bills. It is the Chiefs. 8:20 ET, NBC. You can watch this game on Telemundo if you're Spanish. Just saying that. But for the Bills, they're 3-1. The Chiefs, they're 2-2. Chiefs, they need to win this game. They're home. They don't win this game, they're in trouble, which means win the game. For the Bills, you're the best team in the NFL if you win this game. I don't care what the Cardinals record is. They're the best team in the NFL if they win this game. Simple. Bills offense. Well, then we got to go to the Bills roster first. Bills, they got Josh Young, of course, starting. Devin Singletary, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox, Reggie Gilman in the back, fullback. Deion Dawkins, John Feliciano, Mitch Morse, Darrell Williams, Spencer Brown. Greg Russo, Ed Oliver, Starley Tule, Jerry Hughes, Vernon Beller, Harrison Phillips, Mario Addison, A.J. Epinesa is questionable. Matt Milano is questionable. Terry Mankiewicz, Andre Johnson, or Terry Dodson might have to start. Dodson might have to start. Tremaine Edmonds, J.J. Klein, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Levi Wallace, Teron Johnson, Teron Neal, all on the Bills. And now they have to head to Arrowhead where the Chiefs are ready to go. But before we go to that, Marco Stevenson and Brian Cox Jr. are on the IR for the Bills. Chiefs time. Chiefs, they've been very inconsistent. Their defense has been really bad. Their offense has had some really dumb mistakes. You got Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, Travis Kelce, Michael Burton at fullback, Orlando Brown Jr., Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Lucas Niang, Chris Jones, questionable. Alex Okafor is probably going to have to go out there. John Reed, Derek Nutty, Frank Clark, Nick Bolton, Anthony Hitchens, Dorian O'Daniel. Travarius Ward is questionable. Mike Hughes, DeAndre Baker will have to step up if he is out. Tyrann Matthew, Daniel Sorensen, Ladarius Sneed. Like I said, Mike Hughes, Rashawn Fenton, and DeAndre Baker. Put Juan Thornhill out there. Yeah, those are your teams. And yeah, I know this has been a really long video. I'm not expecting you guys all to watch it because probably just watch your teams thing. Because timestamp, of course, you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just click on the hover over it. It'll come up. You can watch your team's preview. But for Sunday Night Football, keys to the game. Bills offense, run the ball 25+ times and throw the deep at least 5+ times. Challenge this team in the running game. It's always been weak, but the deep ball will come if they have to stop, if they have to dedicate all their guys to the run. And then that's how they'll win the game really good. Bills defense, stop the run and always play 2 high safeties. This defense is the best in the NFL right now. I put it out there. Stopping the run, I don't think will be much of a problem as long as they play aggressive. Always play 2 high safeties, though. Eagles didn't do that. They gave 5 touchdowns to Mahomes.
Chiefs offense, run the ball and then throw the ball to the open guys and also take shots. Play your normal offense, but you gotta kind of have to. Their offense isn't really normal. They gotta do the offense they've been doing for the last week. I really liked how they played last week. If they do that, they're fine. Chiefs defense, hold the offense under 30 points. If that should not be that big of an issue. If you can't hold a team under 30 points with how an offense plays, if the Chiefs offense is on the field long enough, the Chiefs defense should not have a problem with this. And for that reason, the Chiefs should have a good game. Next game is Monday Night Football. Colts, Ravens, 8:15 ESPN. Colts, they're 1-3. They're in desperation mode. Well, not really. Ravens, they're 3-1. They're trying to be one of the best teams in the AFC at least. They need to keep pace with the Browns and Bengals though. So yeah, coming into this game, they could be either playing for first in the division or trying to maintain pace. Probably the first one I said, because Bengals and Browns, they got some tough games. Colts, they're a really good team. I can't understate that. They got their leader, Carson Wentz, starting Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal, Paris Campbell, Jack Doyle, Eric Fisher, Chris Reed, Ryan Kelly, Mark Lewinsky, Julian Davenport, Kamoka Jure, Ben Bonogo, DeMarcus Lawrence, Grover Stewart, Alquan Mohammed, Darius Leonard, Bobby Okereke, Zach Franklin, Kenny Moore, Bo Pete Keys, Isaiah Rogers, Xavier Rhodes, Julian Blackmon, and Kair Willis. Kair Willis is questionable though, so yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. Sorry, I said that at the end of the secondary. But you're right. Sam Ellinger, Desmond Patton, J.J. Nelson, T.Y. Hilton, Quandre Davis, or Quanardi, whatever that his name is. Sam Tevy, Quentin Nelson, Rob Windsor, Jordan Glasgow, Sky Moore, T.J. Carey, and Nick Nelson are all in there. A lot of guys in there for the Colts. It's usual, but they usually aren't the healthiest team in the NFL. But then for the Ravens, I gotta say, I really is falling off a little. Not a ton, but it's still falling off a little. They got Lamar Jackson, Tavis Martin, Freeman, Tyson Williams is back on the roster. Marquise Brown, Sammy Watkins, Devin Duvernay, Mark Andrews, Ronnie Stanley is questionable. Patrick McCarthy might have to go out there. Ben Powers, Bradley Bozeman, Kevin Zeitler, and Alejandro Villanueva probably going to have to start there. Or Ben Cleveland. Who the heck knows? Justin Matabuki is now starting out there on the defensive line with Brandon Williams and Calais Campbell. That's good to see. Tyus Bowser, Pernell McPhee, Malik Harrison, Patrick Queen, Justin Houston, Adafio Way, Anthony Everett, Chuck Clark, Deshaun Elliott is questionable. Brandon Stevens is probably going to have to start. Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Smith, and Tavon Young. Those are your rosters for this week for Monday Night Football. So it's been such a long video. But either way, for Monday Night Football, Colts offense, run the ball and throw over the middle and deep. They got to challenge these corners. Yeah, Anthony Everett's a good corner, but Carson Wentz has to finally say, I'm back, baby. Because the way he's playing, I'm not saying anything, but he could be really underrated right now. So for the Colts, yeah, run the ball really well. I think you can do that against a very injured defense. And then, more importantly, just play good football by throwing deep. Yeah. Colts defense contain Lamar and get off the field quickly. The getting off the field quickly is not going to be easy if they can't stop the run, which means containing Lamar. Containing Lamar is not impossible. Teams have done it. I think they can do it. They have speed at linebacker, which is a huge thing. The Ravens offense run the ball with everyone and take shots. I mean everyone. I even mean probably a tight end. Because it can work. Take shots. Especially to Marquise Brown and probably Sammy Watkins. I can see him getting some catches. And same with, of course, you can't forget about him. Can't forget about the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Andrews. Well, he's not really that, but either way. For the Ravens defense, hold the offense under 20 points, 3 sacks, and 2 plus turnovers. Under 20, not impossible. 3 sacks, totally not impossible. 2 plus turnovers, maybe. They can probably force some fumbles. Interceptions, I really don't know. Carson Wentz has shown that he doesn't really do anything dumb anymore. So, yeah, that could be hard. Either way, guys, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the keys to the game and the previews for 15 NFL games for Week 5. See you for the recap.
I hope you guys have a good Sunday, especially starting off with the London game. I'm hyped for it. Either way, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed.